Okay, if everybody would please make sure their cell phones are turned off. At this time, Coach, if you would give us opening comments, and then we'll take questions for the student athletes first.
Obviously, we're disappointed in the outcome, but I think you got to give DePaul a lot of credit. They shot the basketball extremely well. The game wasn't lost on defense; it was won on offense. I think anytime a team shoots 11 for 24, and some of those were challenged, and you shoot the basketball the way they did, you have to give them credit. I'm extremely proud of my team.
Okay, questions for the athletes? Well, we're going to have to use the mic.
Madison just Coach talked about it a little bit, but DePaul came out so hot and hitting shots and things. What did you feel like on the floor that it was a defensive issue that could have been tightened, or did it seem as though you guys were doing everything that you could defensively, and it was just a matter of a team being hot?
They were extremely hot. I mean, they shot an amazing percentage from the field. But I think there's always something we could have done a little bit differently. We could have executed the game plan a little bit differently or better. So there's always things that you could have done. But in the end, when someone shoots that well, it's going to take a toll on your defense. And we kind of let our offensive struggle move into our defense. But overall, couldn't be prouder of the way we fought today.
How did you think they got some of those threes? What did they do offensively to create some of those looks?
They just are constantly moving the ball themselves. They're just screening. They hit a body really hard when they're screening. So their offense is just constant. And it's a very difficult offense to defend, and they executed and knocked down shots today.
How much of an adjustment period do you feel there was, just getting used to how physical they were and aggressive their defense was there right at the beginning?
There's a little bit of a adjustment, but I think overall we got good shots. We just didn't hit them today, and if you're not going to hit shots, it's going to take a toll on your defense, and that's what it did for us. But they were very physical, and the refs let you play, and we just needed to probably adjust a little bit sooner.
Well, was it kind of frustrating to go on a little bit of a run, and it seemed like every time you did, they'd come back and hit a big three there?
Yeah, every time we seemed to get a few shots going in a row, they always came back, hit a big shot, and it's hard when you're on a roll and they hit that big shot.
Hey, Madison, you didn't score your first basket until, I think, 8:12 of the second quarter. Was there any reason in particular why you were so bottled up there in the first quarter and the opening minutes of the second quarter?
I just needed to be more aggressive, and when I did get to the rim, I needed to finish through contact. I was a little soft at the rim at the beginning, and I think that's kind of what it was. And then just getting in the flow of our offense early in the game. We haven't really faced pressure like they pressured us, so that kind of took us a little bit to adjust.
Okay, thank you.
Megan, you had a tough matchup with Jackie Grant, number 34. How tough was she? And when she came out with foul trouble in the first half, how did the game change when she left?
Yeah, she's a very good player on the defensive end and offensive end. But when she came out with those two early fouls, we really needed to get it down low, and that's what our team did. We moved the ball well, and we really executed while she was out.
Megan, could you talk a little bit about what this experience was like for you as a freshman to be out there playing and what you're able to do there, especially that second half in this environment?
Yeah, it's an amazing experience. It was such a fun journey, and thank you, seniors, for everything you've done for me, and you've led me in so many different ways, and it was just a very cool experience.
And Madison, your thoughts on where this program is now, back-to-back 24-win season, something the school hasn't accomplished yet until this year?
This is an amazing way for the program to get here at an at-large bid, and you have to give it to the coaches. They do so much for us. They make us who we are on and off the court, and can't thank the coaches enough for what they've done, and this program is going to continue to head down this path.
Coach Warren mentioned yesterday about moving around the ball in terms of ball handling responsibilities to cut turnovers and not put as much of a pressure on you in that regard. You only had 12 turnovers today. Do you feel like the team was successful in that regard?
Yeah, I think everyone handled the ball. When you face that kind of pressure and only have 12 turnovers, that's pretty good. So everyone handled the ball, and whoever got open on the press break was able to bring it up. So we did very well executing that.
Okay, one last question for the student athletes. Okay, ladies, congrats on a great season, and you're dismissed.
Thank you.
Coach, I saw you pull Madison and a couple others to the side at the end of the game and have a long conversation. Could you tell us what you were telling them in that moment?
I just told my seniors how proud I am of them. and this game in no way defines our season. They have done a tremendous job, and because of their leadership, allowed this team to be successful. We lost 4 fifth-year seniors out of our starting lineup last year. This was supposed to be a rebuilding year for us, and for this team to have the success that they've had says a lot about the 3 seniors who led us.
Avi, I know you knew that DePaul was good on offense, but was it surprising just where it came from? You know, Allen and Prochaska
Yes,
got you guys.
absolutely. I mean, when Granton goes out, you think, you know, okay, Grant's out. Now you have a chance to exploit some areas, but what Allen did, my goodness. I gotta give her credit. I mean, to go 5 for 6, 9 for 11 from the field, 5 for 6 from the 3, 25 points off the bench, that's incredible. I mean, she was in a zone. And again, not all of those were open. Some of those were challenged. Yeah, I knew they were good offensively. I had no idea they was that well oiled of a machine.
Coach, you, I think, were quoted yesterday as saying that in order to win, you had to get back in transition and defend the three-point line. Why weren't you able to defend the three-point line today?
How were we able?
Why weren't you able to?
Their ball movement. We got a little mixed up on some of our switches and their ball movement. We got stuck in the hole a little bit, and they started to hit some wide open threes out of their ball movement. But I thought to start the first quarter, we've got some good looks, and we missed some wide open looks. If you make those, then you don't have to put as much pressure on your defense to get stops. But our offense is where we struggled today, and then it led into our defense.
I guess from a game plan standpoint, I mean, you had that you had the advantage there in turnovers, rebounding didn't get too out of hand. Do you feel like you know it's just a matter of them just being really efficient on offense was the one thing you couldn't really account for there?
Exactly. It was their efficiency. I mean, there's not a lot else you can do when they shoot the basketball that well, and they shoot it that well from the 3. I mean, January hit some tough shots with the hand. I mean, they all did. They're very efficient, and they're efficient inside out. But I thought we did a great job of getting ourselves to the free throw line, which was one of our emphasis. But you got to be able to defend better, and we weren't able to do that today. And I think you got to give them a lot more credit than you got to give them a lot of credit. They were extremely efficient, and they shot the basketball extremely well. So I give DePaul all the credit in the world.
I asked Madison about the turnovers earlier, only 12 of them. Do you think their pressure got to you in ways other than turnovers?
Yes, absolutely. It got us all out of sorts offensively. Their game plan, you could tell, they were not gonna allow us to run our sets, and they didn't. And we had to get in our motion, and we were getting into some things late in the shot clock, and they denied extremely well. They took us out of what we wanted to do, especially early.
Did you try to make some changes defensively to do something different on Allen, or was there too much balance?
Well, we tried to mix it up. We played some a man. We played matchup zone. We went to our trapping cats. But with that ball movement, and if you get the ball moving and you get it to the right spot, which they was doing with her in the corner some, you got to be able to fly somebody from the middle. We just wasn't able to get there soon enough to chase her off the three-point line.
Coach, obviously not the outcome you wanted, but Vic Schaefer loves talking about Starkville like it's a grandchild. He loves to talks about showing it off, and kind of your thoughts of Starkville and the atmosphere at the Hump and this experience.
Well, first of all, I thought the experience was outstanding. I thought everyone was extremely welcoming. The fans got into it. This is a first-class place, and they love women's basketball. You can tell that. But more than anything else, I thought that when we got in and came to practice yesterday, everybody was so welcoming and friendly. And if you need anything, I mean, he gave me a cell phone number. I mean, they just want to make this a first-class event, and they went above and beyond. This is a great atmosphere, great program, and they do things the right way. No ifs and buts about that.